Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Mask Leadership Leaders Connect, which is episode 003. And welcome you all once again, where leaders create more leaders. My name is Prakash Sharma, and I am the founder director of Visa Training, as well as the author of the book, The Mask Leadership. The Mask Leadership community is formed with the basic mission of creating 1,000+ leaders, wherein week after week, every Wednesday, we are inviting a leader from a top management from a corporate company, through which they will be sharing their success stories and live experiences, where we will have a structured learning experiences through them. And we'll also get inspired through their live demonstrations as well. So here's where this week we're going to start. So before we start off for this particular week and then introduce you to the speaker, let me share a couple of points. We are live on YouTube, as well as we have muted all for time being, and definitely we'll give you an interaction time with our guest today. At that point of time, we'll be giving an opportunity to unmute yourself. So great. So if all these things are ready, if you're all ready to start, then kindly type in the chat box ready, and we will all go ahead to start this particular awesome interaction session with our guest, Mr. Madhusudanan. Can you all see the entire chat box type ready? Yeah, great. So a couple of people are typing ready in the chat box. Thank you very much. But that is where we're going to start off this particular session for today. I'm going to use the guest for today. He is married with Miss Kritika, who's a homemaker, and our guest today also has two daughters named Nivedita and Madhuri. They are studying in 12th and 10th standard. I've been knowing Mr. Madhusudanan for almost now 6 years now, and one important information I got to know that he is very fond of tabla, something really good, and some of the personal information I'd like to share. And his favorite sport is TT. One more just information, his mother is also a doctorate in musician, and that's where he likes tabla. So there's some great insightful information I got to know about him as I was interacting with him as well. So to know more about his professional experience and what all he's been doing and what he has done so far, let's look at this particular video on the screen. Thank you very much. Let's all type in the chat box, welcome Mr. Madhusudanan. So all the visitors and the members here, please do type, welcome Mr. Madhusudanan. And Mr. Madhusudanan, I would request you to kindly turn on your video as we welcome you all. Great, thanks very much, members and visitors who are in here today. And yes, sir, thank you very much for turning on your video, sir. Great. So how are you, sir? All good?
Thank you, Prakash. It's great to get connected with Vija and with the Mask Leadership platform here and sharing my experiences. In fact, I like the way you told it's program number 003, which means that you want to extend it in triple digits. Okay.
Oh, yes, right.
That's a very optimistic and positive outlook, especially in troubled and difficult times like this.
Sure. Thank you very much for sharing, sir. That's really good. Good, sir. Thanks very much for coming in here for this particular Mask Leadership community and sharing your key life experiences as well as success stories here. Sir, we are here now around 40 plus professionals, all working professionals from different companies across India have joined us to listen to you, and there will be more people who will be coming in. So let's start with the first question to you, sir. Sir, may we know what are the key 5 skills which according to you is very much required and has to be demonstrated as a leader? If you see as a leader is there, what are those 5 skills? Because we understand that you have a gamut of experience, right from a GET is where you've grown now as a head of learning and development. You've been almost all the functions. So that's the reason I thought I should be asking you this question on this.
Thanks, Prakash. Before I answer this question, I would like to ask this question back to the audience. And maybe you can use this chat window to give your responses. So I would like to ask 2 questions. The first question is, what do you think is the single biggest discovery or invention or milestone which you consider, which has happened in the last 100 years? So we are in 2020, starting from 1920 to 2020. It could be like man stepping into the moon, or the invention of mobile phone. Okay, me having told these 2 examples, which means that you should not be telling these examples again. So what do you think are the greatest milestones or discovery in human civilization or human race? So please use, automobiles. Very good. So I am from the automotive field. Thanks, Ram. Nuclear weapons, L&D. Dr. Raghuraman. I think Dr. Raghu is from L&D field. Yeah, learning is continuous. I think this continuous learning has kept the human race ahead. Digital network, okay, internet, communication systems, mobile and internet, communication development. In fact, there are no wrong answers. So I request all the people to, wheel, yes. In fact, when the pyramids were made 5,000 years before, wheels contributed a major role. Podcasting, yes. Now the classroom has come outside the physical 4 walls. True. EHR practices, very true. Human relationships, yes. Very nice. Can we have some more responses before I turn on to my next question? Green energy, very true. All of us are looking towards clean, non-dirty energy, means solar and sustainable solutions, because global warming is a major challenge. E-commerce, yes, you can order a product in your doorsteps and you can get it. Amazon, Flipkart. SCM. Okay, I think
supply chain management.
What supply chain management is what the doctor is referring. Yeah, artificial intelligence, zero carbon emissions. Yes, people are now taking carbon credit. Reusable energy, robots. Excellent, very good. So you think that these are some of the...
Sir, before you continue, members and visitors who are here in the room, it will also be grateful if you can turn on your videos. Yeah, we have muted you all, agreed, but as the interaction can be, if it's possible, if you can turn on the videos so that we'll be able to see you and it'll be more energetic. Thank you very much. Yes, over to you, Madhusudan. Sorry for that.
Yeah, thank you. So yes. Dr. Raghuraman is very active, given multiple responses. Six Sigma, yes. Organic revolution, yes. Data analytics, edge analytics. Now, I would like to ask the next question, which is like going forward from here. For the next 30 to 40 years, because I'm not going to ask what is going to happen 100 years from now, because people might be clueless if we say 100 years from now, possibly 30 years to 40 years from now till 2050 or 2060. What do you think would be the major disruption or major technological innovation or major invention or discovery or a milestone going forward in the human race? What do you think so? Digital transformation, agricultural technology, yes. Health protection, yes. The average life of human being is continuously increasing. AI, artificial intelligence for sure. Robotics, COVID vaccine, yes, need of the hour. The lockdown is lifted, but the vaccine is still not there.
True.
Sentient technology, ML, machine learning, healthy food, space tourism. Yes, Elon Musk has started that, and I think more people will follow. Understanding relationships. Yes, that has been a major milestone before, even now. Augmented reality, virtual reality, humanity, EQ, emotional quotient. Now people, you don't just need IQ, but you need EQ. Okay, and DQ also, digital quotient. So IQ, EQ, and DQ will lead to PQ, performance quotient. So that's a simple formula. SG spectrum, life protection, managing work hours. Yes, I think the home and work has mingled together, and then it is becoming very difficult for you to manage this work-life balance. AQ, CQ. I don't know what does this abbreviation mean. Doctor has to tell. Adversity quotient.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Very good.
Something good.
Interesting. I think there is a common theme which is coming, that there are a lot of technologies which are going to disrupt, but there are foundational things in terms of human relationships or certain behavioral things which are not going to change. In terms of technology, a lot of things are going to change. So just giving an answer to Prakash now at this juncture. So I was just giving a thinking. I thought I will make a small framework which I'll call it as an ABCDE framework, so that people, it is easy for people to remember. So I'm going to classify the skills into 5 categories. So after the program, I don't want people to say A for apple, B for bat, but A, B, C, D for different skills. So A for analytical skills. So what I group in analytical skills is data analytics, decision analytics, and business analytics. In fact, in Ashok Leyland, we have recently launched a separate department called as business analytics. Even the future and emerging technologies, which are like artificial intelligence or machine learning or IoT, Internet of Things or Industry 4.0, blockchain technology, natural language processing, or any technology, AR, VR technologies, many things which you have been telling. All these futuristic technologies are going to make the lives simpler for people, and I will group them all into these analytical skills. So data sciences, there are multiple areas for people to explore this. So A stands for analytical skills. B, as rightly told by many of you, B stands for building relationships. I think human relationships has come as one of the important facets. Unfortunately, Indian education system, following the Macaulay system, what has led towards an individual excellence rewarding mechanism. So people have been individual performers, and the moment they come to companies, they are individually great, but the moment you make them into groups, in fact, Prakash has done many programs for us where collaboration is the key element here, building relationships is the key element, and this is what we also try to do in our onboarding bootcamp. So building relationships is very key for a leader, and as a leader, you don't have to be master in all. In fact, you need to take the support from different people. Different people are having expertise in different areas, and this rich relationship which we are going to build is going to help you as a leader. So B for building relationships is a very key skill. In fact, people use skill and competencies frequently in different areas, but skill and competencies we do use interrelatingly, because skill is nothing but application of knowledge, and competency is what is required to perform your role for a particular job. So building relationship is a very key skill which leaders need to have. So A for analytical skills, B for building relationships. C for customer centricity. So many times what as leaders or as executives, what we do is we get into a process or we get into our work, and then finally we forget why are we doing this. We need to keep the customer in the center of each and every process or the decision what we are taking. In fact, in Ashok Leyland, 5 years before, the overall organization structure itself was changed so that the organization structure is facilitating a customer-oriented organization. For example, we didn't have a structure called as a truck vertical or a bus vertical or a light commercial vehicle vertical or a defense vertical. So we created this vertical, product-oriented vertical, so that we can serve the customers better. In fact, one of the important thought leaders called as Kano, he's from Japan. He brought in a model called as Kano model of customer satisfaction. So where it is not sufficient for you to just meet the customer needs, but you also have to surprise the customer by thinking over and beyond. That's what you have seen in companies like Apple and innovative organizations. They've always been surprising the customers, and they are always getting the market or a revenue or business. So C stands for customer centricity. In an automotive context where I come from, we are now working on technology disruptions like ACES, which is autonomous vehicles, connected vehicles, electric vehicles, and shared mobility. So this is where the world is now moving for the next 30 years. So the vehicles will talk to each other. You will have autonomous, which is ranging for multiple levels till the final level of a total driverless vehicle. Electric, so moving away from the fossil fuel to an electric vehicle, and shared mobility, where people might not buy cars, but you will be using more of Ubers and Olas. So you will be having more of Uberization, which is happening in each and every business. Okay, so Uberization is a separate lingo which has come out because of this shared mobility. D stands for diversity and inclusion. Okay, as a leader, if you have to be successful, the ability to work and collaborate with diverse groups is going to be very, very important. In fact, in Ashok Leyland, we found that it was a male-heavy organization. We took a conscious decision that 1/3 of our new recruits should be women. So we have a 34% gender diversity at an entry level, but at an organization level, it is only 6%. We have still a long way to go. In terms of how do you work with different geographies, different cultures, different languages, it is going to be the key, working with diverse groups. In fact, it has also been proved that working with diverse groups is going to be very productive. In Ashok Leyland, I remember, in fact, Prakash has also done a program. We did a very successful program called as the Global Graduate Engineer Trainee Program, Global GT Program, where we brought people from Kenya, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Bangladesh, from Gulf countries, and then we trained them here. And then we sent them to different countries, because Ashok Leyland also had plans to open factories at different areas. So it was our thinking not to send Indians there, but have the son of the soil or daughter of the soil here, and then train them here. So Ashok Leyland not just exports products, or Indian companies don't just export products, but also export talent. So exporting talent is going to be the key thing for India in the future. In this process, me as an L&D professional, I have also immensely learned from these people, because the culture is different, the way people communicate is different, they collaborate is different. So how are you able to work with diverse groups? D for diversity. And finally, E, I think many people talked about EQ, empathy. There is an interesting website called as Will Robots Take Away My Job? In fact, many people told that robots are also one of the important major milestones or inventions. So will we result in a situation where the human work will be completely taken away by machines? Will we land in a kind of a situation? The answer is no, because the machines can't emote. The machines can't generate emotion. And this is the human touch, or the human emotion is what going to give the job to us forever. And this EQ, as I told you, it is not important that you have the IQ intelligence quotient, but EQ plus the digital quotient, which you gain through the analytical skills learning, will lead to performance quotient. So the simple formula is IQ plus DQ plus EQ equal to PQ. You can't help it because I'm an engineer. Okay, LHS equal to RHS. So that's a long answer for a short question.
But that's really a very apt answer what you're sharing it, and very interestingly made it with A, B, C, D, E. Very rightly said, sir. In fact, all these 5 things plays a major role as a leader, and if you have to constantly grow, these skills definitely play a major role. Gone are those days, yeah, communication is there, or maybe basically people used to talk about presentation is there, but those all are one of the basic qualities they have become and basic skills they have become. But as a leader, the next level leader, as we have to constantly grow, the A, B, C, D, E, what you told makes a real sense. So, sir, I have one question. If any challenging situations come, out of these 5, which one do you think is the major or very important skill which has to be demonstrated out of this 5 what you've told? Any challenging situations?
Okay. One interesting thing is Ashok Leyland is a 72-year-old organization. Yeah. We never thought work from home is going to happen in Ashok Leyland. I know that such things are common in IT industry, software industry, consultancy industry, but in a brick and mortar industry where there is huge amount of physical work, we never thought work from home will happen, but it's a reality. I am currently working from home. Okay. So what I feel is the A and the B part is very important out of the 5 skills which I told. A part because the analytical skills, because you need to build this digital literacy, not just at entry level, because the kids are very good in digital literacy because they are millennials. I would say they are digital natives. They are born with digital literacy. If you give a mobile phone to a kid, the kid is able to explore the mobile phone fully. Okay, it is for the people who are in the middle management, who are 30 plus, 40 plus. We need to get these analytical skills. Okay, at least not to an expertise level, but at least at a conversational level as a leader, so that what is required. Okay, for example, in our company, we use this AI technology to bring a simple chatbot to answer certain transactional queries like how much leave I have, please give my pay slip or form 16, for which we used AI technology. Unless in other ways a leader doesn't know that such technologies do exist, such platforms do exist, it is impossible for a leader to think through and direct a team. So it is very important that analytical skills, which I would bucket the futuristic emerging skills and the data and the decision analytics as a bucket item, not at an expertise level, but at least at a conversational level, it is very important for a leader to possess. B, building relationships is very key because we are not traveling. Traveling is being restricted, and collaboration has become very difficult. And currently, we are in a situation where we need to do digital collaboration. Okay, we have seen huge surges in Zoom traffic. The Teams, various collaboration platforms have increased. I think more and more we need to do more of collaboration, but less of travel. So building relationships is going to be the key. So I think in this current pandemic situation where we are, A and B, which is analytical skills as well as building relationships, is going to be the key for leaders.
Okay. Great. Very rightly said, Madhusudan sir, it is A and B, which is the analytical ability as well as the building relationships, especially during the challenging.
In fact, I just want to add on, many of the solutions or business solutions in our company, which we are thinking, are mainly focused towards digital initiative or analytical skills. Like we recently launched a Avatar platform, a new modular business program, where we are providing an opportunity to the customer to configure a truck. The customer can actually configure a truck.
Okay.
By asking, I can choose a sleeper cabin or a day cabin. I can choose an axle. I can choose a engine, and then a customer can play like a Lego block and do this. So it is all done through a digital platform. Now our spare parts is sold through a platform called as Laycart. Okay, very similar to Amazon and Flipkart. So I think such things need a deep dive into analytical skills, and then touching base with the people who are experts in the field, for which you need to have building relationships and stakeholder relationships.
Right, you said, so the future is actually for analytics, and definitely the analytical abilities has to definitely be strengthened for people. And with that building, we need to have strong relationships. Just having only analytical ability and you're not able to build relationships, then it becomes very difficult. So wonderfully said during challenging situations, these two. So, but I have one more question as well, just in the aspect of, let's look at the other scenario. But these 5 skills or these skills, how do you think this will also be useful with the family members? As a leader, because at every family, we're also a leader. So in the family, how do you think these skills could be used? Okay. And what is your experience, if any, if you'd like to share, that will be really great.
So there is a famous saying in HR, you get hired for your technical skills and you get fired for your behavioral skills. Okay. Yeah. So many people are focusing more on technical skills, which might be useful for their professional life, but whatever are the skills related to the behavioral, they are foundational and they are not going to change. Okay. I would like to share something which is related to my personal life. As a student, as a young boy, I was part of an organization where the organization used to take us to different prisons in Coimbatore. We used to live in Coimbatore. So there was a very huge prison in Coimbatore, in Anjappa Salai. And as a young boy, going to prison was a big experience, because we went through a service organization. The objective of going to this prison was to go there and then give them some moral lessons, as well as we used to sing songs, some motivational songs, and then we used to just motivate the people and then come back. Okay. So my perspective about people who are there in the prison got changed after I used to continuously go to prison. Okay. Because not everybody is a person who is a thief, or maybe many people were circumstantially were pushed into those kind of situations. And then when I came to college, I was part of the same organization where we used to go to medical camps to different villages, outskirts of Coimbatore. We used to go to these medical camps where I used to do the role of a compounder, where doctors used to come, and then the responsibility for us is to take the medicine and give it to the people. And when we used to interact with these people, villagers, poor people, my perspective of people who are living in villages have changed. Currently, I'm in Ashok Leyland. We have a scheme called as a Road to School scheme, where we have adopted many government schools in and around Hosur, where we get an opportunity to do volunteering by participating in Republic Day Parade or Independence Day. We also do parent-teachers meeting in government schools. We have a morning breakfast scheme. So we go there for painting the schools or cleaning the schools. We do such volunteering, and when we interact with these kids, our perspective has changed. And when my mother used to take me to musical concerts, because I was a percussionist, I used to go to various musical events and then used to interact with various people. That was a totally different world. It is not a corporate world. It is a totally different world. So I think in my life, I've learned diversity. People, as a leader, people need to have some passion, some extracurricular activities, some hobby, which is totally dimensionally opposite to the current job what you are doing. And this dimensionally opposite activity which you are doing is going to help you to build your perspectives and make yourself as a matured individual as well as a well-rounded professional. That is very important, because there are many things which are not taught in the books about leadership, and leadership comes through practice. Leadership comes through experiencing, talking to people, failing. And as an L&D professional now, whenever I take decisions, all these experiences which I had in prison, which I had in these medical camps, which I had in the road to school, government school volunteering activities, or in the musical concerts, I always think of these situations and then try to make my decision better.
Perfect. Wonderful. So that means you're saying that the analytic skills are required, but that is one set, which is the other side. And at the family, if you could see diversity, the some of our hobbies, some of our relationships, what has to be built in, that also is required. Both
Yes.
has to be merged, is what you're saying. Am I right, sir?
Yeah. Personally speaking, I I have learned a lot as an individual, as a human being, not by reading books, but through these activities. I feel so. And leadership is a big journey. Okay, little bit uh, precious little steps which I have taken in my life is all because of experiences like this. I think each one of us have to have that humility and then taking that step. It might not be monetarily benefiting you, but take that step because it is going to give you a rich experience in your personal life.
True. Rightly said. Very rightly said in terms of how this actually, especially for our family members, if you could see how we need to take care of them in respect to the diversification and the hobbies, why these all are very, very important sharing. Great one, sir. Sir, if these skills has to be honed, what is that you think you'll be able to share here to the community members, and some of our visitors are here in, and after this we will be having a short quiz as well. So how do you think these skills can be honed? Now, it's not that all are today very strong in analytical skill. See, how do you think this can be done or honed by the most of the leaders here in this community?
Okay, so as I told, leadership, not all are available in books. We can learn many things from people like, say, somebody talked about Brian Tracy. Okay, I'm a huge fan of Tom Peters, Marshall Goldsmith. Okay, but not all the things are available, and through interactions we can always gain knowledge. But I would put my bet more on action learning. Okay, by actually putting your time and effort on certain things. That's where I would request the community people to do. There is some researched framework called as the 70-20-10 rule. So 70% of the learning happens by doing, by action. 20% of the learning happens through interactions, social learning. For example, this is a social platform where we all interact with each other, and then we learn. And the 10% of the learning happens by reading a book or by attending a classroom session. So, which means that 90% of the learning happens outside the four walls of the classroom. It happens through interaction and it happens through action learning. So, even in our company, we link each and every learning initiative in terms of linking them to action learning, because you learn by failing, you learn by succeeding, you learn by helping others, and this learning gives you a lot of leadership lessons. You can be a situational leader, you can be a servant leader. In fact, in Ashok Leyland, we have a leadership framework which is starting from shop floor to top floor. So we don't think that leadership happens only at the C-suite offices. So it can be a shop floor leadership. It can be at a 2 to 3 year experience level. We have something called as a young talent program. Today, in fact, we just completed the assessment for the young talent program. We have something called as an emerging leader program. So there are leadership initiatives at various levels. There are different strokes for different folks. So leadership is not just for MD and N-1 level senior leaders. It happens at various levels. And we need to give that opportunity for people to demonstrate their leadership at various levels. It is very, very important. In fact, even our blue collar associates who are in the shop floor, they become Gemba unit leaders, GUL we call it, so that they are able to demonstrate their leadership in the shop floor.
Perfect.
By providing them the required information, providing them the required authority for them to take, and not taking penal action for failures. That is very, very important, because Indians are risk averse. Okay, look at me, 25 years in the same organization. Okay, but I've changed multiple functions. But if you give two options for individuals, do you want to take an entrepreneurial route like Bija Prakash, or do you want a cushy job, corporate job, which will give you 9 to 5 kind of a job, which will give you fixed income? 80 to 90% of the people will prefer a corporate job. Okay, I think this entrepreneurial mindset has to be inculcated into the leaders. Okay, even if you're going to do a corporate job, but this entrepreneurial mindset needs to be inculcated. That's why we are creating startups within the organization. Ashok Leyland might be a big organization, but we are creating small startups within the company so that people can experiment. They can build their entrepreneurial skills, and they can learn by failing, because learning by failing is very, very important to become a leader. Action learning is very important. In a nutshell, 70-20-10 rule, 70% of the learning happens by doing. So you become a leader by doing things. It might be right, it might be wrong, but you need to do.
Great. So very valiantly said. In fact, doing plays a major role. So we always keep sharing one thumb rule, in fact, which I've written in my book as well. Everyone knows everything, but knowing does not make any difference. Only doing makes the difference. And that's actually a thumb rule, in fact, which we share. That's rightly said, that doing plays a lot of difference. And we'll definitely hear in this particular community today, 49 plus 50 people have come in. I'm sure they will go back, start getting into demonstration, because we think a lot of things and we analyze so many aspects, but doing it actually makes a huge great success there. Great. So with that, let's move on to a short quiz, sir. In fact, I believe you have interacted so much with them. So let's ask a couple of our visitors who are here and members who are here as well as a short quiz. So let's see what are the key takeaways. So in fact, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a quiz question, and the person who gives the right answer, the member and visitors, is open for all. Who's giving the right answer, you will be getting the Mask Leadership, the online 360-degree feedback assessment for free. And he is the person, Atul Shukla, who was a last week's winner, who has got this the Mask Leadership online 360-degree feedback worth of rupees 4,000 for free, where he has started taking it and is helping him to create as a leader. He is able to understand the strong areas and improvement areas of where he needs to move as a strong leader. So great. So thanks very much. So the quiz question is going to come up now, and I would request everyone to kindly type in the chat box. If you know the answer which I'm going to ask, please type yes alone. Do not write the answer in the chat box. Just type yes if you know the answer, and then from there we'll be taking it up across. Okay. The question is going to be very simple. What is that 70-20-10? What was that told? So please write what is 70%, 20 and 10%, 70-20-10 rule, which Mr. Madhusudan told. If you know the answer, type yes, and I will unmute you to answer. So we have first, I believe, Mr. DV Raghu has shared. Raghu, so you're there. Kindly unmute yourself, Mr. Raghu.
You give me the hello.
Yes, Mr. Raghu, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please share what is that 70?
Yeah, 70-20 is by 70 is by action.
Okay.
20 by interaction and social learning, and 10% is reading books and learning a lot.
Oh wow, wonderful! Excellently told, Mr. Raghu. Wonderfully shared. Thanks very much. You will be definitely getting the Mask Leadership online 360-degree assessment for free, sir. Definitely, it's really been great. So what else other learnings been? I believe you, I can understand that you have been a very active participant here.
I would like to supplement. I would like to supplement. I would like to say a few words. Can I say with your permission?
Please, sir.
He was talking very nicely. He was talking about higher is for technical skills and fire is for behavioral skills. He mentioned that.
Perfect.
I'm a person of emotional intelligence. I used to give a talk on emotional intelligence for part of it. In the EQ, IQ is for hiring.
Okay.
And then EQ is for promotion and firing.
True.
In the initial stage, IQ is for hiring. IQ is required. When new entrants are there, IQ is very important thing there. When you grow in the leadership level, the EQ is most important thing. That is, emotional quotient is very important thing for them. But emotional quotient, nothing but the building a relationship is very strong. When the building a relationship very strong, automatically empathy will come here. When the empathy and building relationship go hand in hand. This is my point of view there.
Great.
So when you have empathetic view from the point of view there, you build a relationship, strong relationship with this. Relationship management is much more important as a leader. When you go leader he said the leadership starts from the bottom level to the lower level, shop floor to top floor, he mentioned that.
Yes.
I really appreciate these things are there. But when you go to the top level, building relationship is more important rather than any other skills are there. He mentioned ABCD, analytical skills, building relation, customer centricity, diversity, empathy. I strongly believe B is very important and E is very important for this thing. This is my point of view.
Great, great. Thank you very much for sharing that, sir. It was really good. In fact, I believe, I missed out even Mr. Ramakrishnan had, in fact, also put in the chat box first. So Ramakrishnan, sir, I would give you an opportunity also to ask. If you have any question to ask Mr. Madhusudan also, you can unmute yourself and ask. And I would also share it across to you. Yes, sir. Can you unmute yourself? If you have any question, Mr. Ramakrishnan, sir.
Good evening, all. See, I have one small query. See that we are in the pandemic situation. So how the leadership, the dynamism of leadership will be after 1 year?
Great. So Madhusudan sir, this question is for you. So how will the dynamism of leadership will be after 1 year?
Yeah.
I have not understood. Can you again rephrase or?
Yeah. See the leadership qualities and leadership is there.
And the voice is very coming in a broken way.
Yeah. The leadership. See, what about the changes or paradigm shift of leadership after COVID-19?
So he's asking about what could be the leadership after COVID-19.
After COVID-19.
Okay, what could be the leadership style after COVID-19?
Yeah, it should be some paradigm shift. Yeah.
So the world has permanently changed. We are never going to come back to the pre-COVID days. Every business, every company is working towards business continuity at a short term and a long term, looking at shifting the gears in terms of how are we going to do business totally differently. For example, a 72-year-old company like us, first time we have done work from home. Okay, so as leaders, I think the way we run business, the way we bring revenue to our organization, the way we are going to have the new strategies for the organization is going to play a big role, because we can't just be applying the tried and tested methodologies which has worked in the past. For example, you have bought items in Amazon and Flipkart. Have you ever bought two-wheelers and cars in the apps? If it is not done in the past, can we do it in the future? I definitely see there is a situation where automobiles can be sold through apps. Okay. Another example I would like to give is, before COVID, if I were to ask this question, is this car safe? A common sense means that if there is a crash, will the car survive and the people inside the car are safe? But now there is a totally different connotation of safety. Okay. Can the car expel all the COVID virus inside? Can there be a functionality which can be introduced in the automobile through some technology? I can remove or sanitize the car so that I can ensure a peaceful travel. Is a new definition of safety. So the business has changed totally. We are not going to go back to the pre-COVID days. So as a leader, how are we going to give solutions for this totally disrupting changes which are going to come? For example, the tourism industry, how is it going to function after COVID? But definitely I'm for sure that it is going to exist. Automotive industry, already we have seen sparks. The business is doing good in certain areas with respect to commercial vehicle. Okay, because of this digital apps and fulfillment which is happening at your doorsteps through the Amazons and Flipkart, the last mile connectivity is going to be high, and people will be going less to the physical shops. So as a leader, what is the solution I am going to give for last mile connectivity? Do I have a product or a truck which can provide to the smaller lanes and deliver till the customer who is in a tier 2 or a tier 3 city. In fact, the business has radically changed. How am I going to use these opportunities and give solutions as a leader will determine the existence of many leaders and as well as companies.
Good, sir. In fact, that's more important. Great. In fact, Ramakrishnan sir, I believe you have got the answer. And Ramakrishnan sir, I would definitely ensure that you also get the Mask Leadership 360-degree feedback assessment for you, because you were the first person who wrote in the chat box as well. Thank you very much as well.
Thank you,
just, yeah, before we take only one more question last, I would like to summarize what all we've understood for today, because already time is getting up. And with the summarize, I'm going to share it with this Mask Leadership answers here itself. In fact, the last 2 weeks, you would have seen that we did discuss about the productive habits, and we also discussed about the unproductive habits. So the two leaders the last 2 weeks have come across, have spoken about these two. And the productive habits, that what are the key productive habits as a leader, and we also spoke about what are the unproductive habits which a leader should stop. And today is where we are discussing, in fact, Madhusudan has in fact clearly explained us the key 5 important skills which are required, which you spoke about: A, B, C, D, E, the analytical skill, building relationships, customer centricity, diversity, definitely, which plays a very important role, and empathy is highlighting. Wonderful. So just these skills, if we have to use them, definitely the back end again comes, either you have to use them to productive habits, or are you going to use these skills with unproductive habits? That's where the leader stands. I repeat again, the skills what Madhusudan told, all the A, B, C, D, E. And how are we going to use these skills? As a leader, are we going to use this with our back end? The productive habits are we going to use, or are we going to use this with the unproductive habits? Makes you a strong, sustaining leader for long term. And that's what, in fact, we've been discussing here, in fact, throughout the skills which has been discussed, and especially analytical is the way for the future. That's what we've been understanding from him. Analytics is the way. If we as leaders should start getting into role of analytics and start improving ourselves in analytics, and that's when we will be able to foresee more and more about it. So with all these things, we will also come to the next speaker. I would like to, next week's speaker, let me share it across here for today, so that people who all are interested, please do share it with your respective friends, as well as share it with your respective colleagues and neighbors, so that they'll be also be happy to come for this Mask Leadership session. So the next week we have Mr. The CEO of Davidoff, Mr. Mahendra Singh. So we have it here on the screen. Manvinder Singh, the CEO of Davidoff. Davidoff is a famous brand for the perfumes, and he is there, is going to come for the next week. The CEO, when I spoke to him, very, very humble person. He has been a sales director of the Lactalis company, and then he had taken up this particular role of CEO as Davidoff. A huge constant growth which he has got, and what is his success story, and how in sales this can be related to. Now we have been getting a lot of different people from different functions. So the next week is purely on the functions of sales. In sales, how we'll be able to do much better, what are the life experiences, how we'll be able to do much more for the constant growth is what we'll be listening from Mr. Manvinder Singh, the CEO of Davidoff. So stay tuned. So we will be doing it in the Mask Leadership community. So the Mask Leadership community runs again every Wednesday, week after week, from 6:30 to 7:15. And please do share it with your networks. That will be the only mission of creating 1,000+ leaders, where every week we have different guests from a corporate coming here, so that you get over a period of time structured learning, and these learning experiences will help. And that's what, in fact, Mr. Madhusudan told, 70, 20, 10. And here, this particular portion is on the 20%. And once you go back 70%, you will be able to apply. So please do type, all the members, please do type in the Telegram group, which is there, which we have. Please do type your learnings in the Telegram group. That will help all the other people as well. And visitors who have joined in here today, if you wish to join this Mask Leadership community, Arul, kindly type my number on the chat box, and feel free, we will be adding you to the Mask Leadership community. Please make a note of my number, which is in the chat box, and please do connect. We'll be adding you to the Mask Leadership community for weekly. Great. So thanks very much. This all has been done. And before we go to the thanking video, One last question to Madhusudan sir. If you have to share only one last thing or one message to all the leaders who are in here today, what is that message would be, sir Madhusudan sir?
I think we need to be happy and we have to follow our passion. Success will come. If you chase success, happiness will not come. So I think the logical sequence is happiness leads to success and success doesn't lead to happiness.
Wonderfully shared. So that means stay happy, then automatically success will come. And then what are key steps to be happy? That's what we need to take it forward. Wonderfully shared, Madhusudan sir. So before we complete this week's session and show the thanking video, any other participant has any other question you would like to ask Mr. Madhusudan sir? Kindly type in the chat box if you have any question and we'll give you the permission to unmute, please. I believe Mr. Ram R has raised a hand. Okay, Mr. Ram R, one last question and then we close this.
Hello, sir. Good evening. At the beginning of the session, you were mentioning about the three kinds of analytics: data analytics, business analytics, and the third one you mentioned, which I missed when you were saying. So you elaborate on that and more of the analytics part.
Decision analytics, because what I meant was leaders have to be intuitive for sure, because you have to have that forecasting ability. Even without data, you should be able to sense the future. You should have to lift your antenna and see the future. At the same time, all your decisions can't be intuitive and you need to take fact-based decisions, okay, because your decisions have to be correct. So data, building a method to the madness is data analytics. Okay, you have data which is madly there in all the places. You have to build a method to this madness, which is data analytics. And then when you are taking a decision, you have to build with sufficient analytics. Okay, one decision analytics is called as a Pooh matrix, where you are an analytical hierarchy process where you build a structured methodology to say that I have gone with option A or option B, which is decision analytics. Third is business analytics. How are we taking these inputs to my business and generating revenue? Decision, data, decision, business.
So starts from the data. That's been the analytics all about. So data, decision, and the business. Believe Ram, you got the answer then. Great. So if all done, so thanks very much all the members as well as the visitors who have joined in here today for this, the Mask Leadership Community and the series Leaders Connect 003. So with all, we will definitely close this particular video through the thanking video. So Manish, please do share the thanking video. Great. So thank you one and all being here. It has been excellent contributions you've been made from your side. It's really good. And every week after week for the learning, please do stay tuned on this Mask Leadership Community. Thanks very much. Thank you, Madhusudan sir. It was really very nice. It was an honor.
Thanks to Prakash for coordinating this session. Thanks a lot and creating an opportunity for me to interact with leaders from various areas. It has been a great opportunity interacting with many people. Keep your good work going on. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you all the guests, members, as well as the visitors. Thank you all. And we'll meet again next week. Thank you.